We are back. January 25th, the monumental day, also known as Robbie Burns Day. We've brought back up Chris Jackson. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Jacksons Meat Deli and the Haggis historian. We're giving you that title, Frank. You look great. Thanks for coming in. You do the toast at SFU every year for the past 20 years?
I've done it, about 20 years now for the university, yes.
So we're going to get to the history in a second, but first, Chris, we need to talk about these beautiful ingredients laid out on the table. What is haggis? What goes into it?
Okay, so this is pretty easy. So basically, haggis is a pudding, and what we do is we take lamb liver, heart, and traditionally lung, but we, at Jackson's we've changed things and we've replaced the lung with actually just lamb leg meat. It ends up being a tastier product, so we use that. But just so you know what the traditional way is, that's what they use. It's all put in beef cap, which is an intestine, and that's this guy right here.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Good morning.
And once these are roasted, you mix them in with oats that have been cooked in stock. This is lamb stock, and onions, and you mix it all together and put it in the casing, and that's what you end up here.
Now, how hard is it to get it in the casing right there?
Well, if you have to do it by hand, it would be pretty tricky, but we have a nice sausage stuffing machine, which
the pros
makes it a pretty simple process.
Have the apparatus to do it, okay, yeah. And then you put it into the pot and let it simmer.
And you let it simmer, and don't let it boil, because if it boils, it will burst. And that's the biggest complaint I get from all customers. They said, well, I boiled it and it exploded. Yeah, well,
that is great advice, because we did that on the show years ago and
Yeah.
it just exploded. So let that simmer. Now,
Perfect.
Frank, why do we go through the tradition? You blew the whistle before the break. What's the history here?
Well, it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek humor with the haggis itself, actually. The whistle is merely one of those items that you get in Scotland from a store, and you can go up in the hillside and blow the whistle all you want, but you won't have this kind of fare coming out of off the hillside. It's merely a tongue-in-cheek bit of humor, and it goes along with what Robert Burns had actually talks about in the actual verse of the address to a haggis. And years ago, it was actually the lord of the land, when all his catering staff had finished at the castle, they'd take a bucket, something like that, with all the entrails and leave it out the back, and the poor people in the village would come up, grab it, and make something of it. So what they were stuck with was the casing, was the insides of and including lungs, which are not used nowadays in most of the haggis. In fact, they've been banned from coming over, even over to America. They put a ban on haggis, and even when Obama was in position, the Scottish were trying to get the haggis released to come over and be imported into the United States. But the actual haggis itself, I've heard, some have said, that it is capable of climbing a wall.
That's the myth. Yeah. Behind it all. Chris, I mean, Frank did his homework for this. Yeah. Now, there's a special tradition when it comes to cutting in a verse that's read, so let's get to that so we can do the taste test. How long is the simmer, by the way?
It takes about 45 minutes to heat through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring it out on the plate. Frank, you're going to cut this up for us?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Wonderful. And you do a toast at SFU, Surrey campus, happening today, 10 a.m., a celebration. You're going to continue the tradition, correct?
Yes, and I'm going to actually say I'm going to give one line of the actual verse to this haggis right now, which is Robert Burns, and his words are saying, "Go far, you jolly little beastie." And basically he would say, "Fare far, your honest sonsie face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race. Upon them a' ye tak your place, pinch, trime, or therm."
Does that happen at the deli, or is that a BT special today here, Chris?
Oh, that happens every time we sell one.
I can hear it humming.
Look at this cut right there. Woo. That is juicy. Right
And
down
there
the
we
middle.
are, gentlemen.
We just dive in, that's it?
Grab a
That's
fork
it.
and
Okay, Chris, this one's for you.
Perfect.
Frank, we'll let you dive in
Thank
too.
you.
We're going to share the
Thank
haggis
you.
again, 10 a.m.
Thank
SFU
you.
Surrey campus. This could be you celebrating the tradition of Robbie Burns Day. Cheers to you both.
Robbie Burns.
Cheers.
To Robbie Burns. Delicious.
Slow
Delicious.
burn on it, slow burn on it. And now I'm with you.
Right on.
Now I'm with. I can taste the lining right there. It's
Yeah.
buenísimo.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll take a break.